In the spring of 1961, two state surveyors were assigned to chart a flood zone in a remote area known as Pine Hollow. Following a narrow creek bed, they noticed something hidden behind the trees, a shape too straight to be natural, like a structure refusing to fall. What they found was a wooden house, sealed from the inside, its windows boarded, its door fastened with iron spikes. It appeared on no map and had no visible path, driveway, or sign that anyone had entered or left in decades. When they approached, the air felt heavy, the silence pressing against their ears as if the forest itself was holding its breath. Weeks later, officials returned with a team to investigate properly. They pried open the door and stepped inside. The interior was untouched, frozen in time. 11 narrow beds stood arranged in order, stripped bare, their frames rusted but steady. A child's high chair was bolted beside the hearth. There were no mirrors, no photographs, no tools of modern life, only the strange stillness of a place that had forgotten people. Behind a dresser, they found a panel sealed with pitch and animal hide, and hidden inside that wall cavity lay a thick book bound in dark leather, coated in wax and dust. When archivists finally unsealed it, the pages were discovered to be written backward, right to left, in the same looping handwriting throughout. The ink, once tested, was confirmed to contain traces of human blood from more than one person. There were no names, no stories, no prayers, only initials, sketches, and instructions repeated again and again. The journal did not speak of faith or redemption, but of flesh, of symmetry, and of bloodlines that must remain pure. The early pages listed births beside words like retained, corrected, or folded out, as if describing not lives but experiments. Later entries grew more fractured, filled with measurements, drawings of bones, and notes about posture, silence, and eyes that looked too wide. There were no signs of ordinary life, no mention of crops or weather or neighbors, only the same chilling idea, that the family must remain clean, or the line must end. Public records supported the strangeness. Census documents between 1921 and 1961 listed a single surname repeating generation after generation, with no spouses, no new names, no record of anyone ever leaving. School visits ended abruptly after 1925, when an official wrote that the children were seen only behind glass. By the 1940s, the family no longer appeared in church ledgers or marriage records. They had withdrawn completely. Locals began calling their property the Hush House, though no one admitted to knowing who lived there. One anonymous letter from the 1950s described seeing several children walking in silence along the same path every evening, dressed identically, moving as one. The writer ended their note by saying, "I thought one was a reflection until it blinked." When the house was rediscovered in 1961, it was already decaying, but inside everything remained unnervingly deliberate. The arrangement of furniture, the sealed basement door, the absence of mirrors, and that single volume written in blood. Researchers who examined it described a doctrine not of faith but of biology, a belief that purity meant perfection and that perfection required isolation. Over decades, the handwriting never changed, suggesting that whoever began writing it either lived far longer than they should have, or that every new generation learned to write exactly like the first. The final line of the book, pressed in dried blood beneath a thumbprint, read only this: "We were not meant to bend outward." Whether the house was built to keep outsiders away or to contain something within, no one could agree. The property was later sealed again, the journal stored under restriction for nearly 40 years. Those who handled it reported uneasy dreams of rooms without windows and children writing backward in silence. The family vanished from records, the house crumbled, and the story of Pine Hollow faded into rumor. Yet the lesson that remained inside its pages was simple and terrifying, that the more a lineage tries to remain pure, the less human it becomes.